MLBDW, solo pod with John Anderson. He's lonely and sad and monotone.
And I love that intro. Did anybody else listen to like Mayday Parade growing up? That would only be for like 35 to, I don't know, like 32 to 45-year-olds or something like that. It's like I had this part of me, the biggest difference about my personality than the average is like I don't get emotional hardly about anything. I'm like a stoic, I guess that would be the positive way to spin that. Some would say apathetic, unempathetic. Does empathy have a antonym, whatever that is? And guilty as charged, I guess. At least I know how to like fake. It's one thing to not care what's going on with other people. That's not you really can't control that. It's another thing to make it like very obvious all the time that you don't care. And I've always been at least pretty decent with what I say, not necessarily with my demeanor, but then after you get to know me, you're just like, well, this guy's always just like completely blank and always looks a little bit disinterested or whatever. But I'm socially aware, so most people don't completely hate me. Some do, but if nobody has like any opinion about you, whatever, either way, like that's no fun. You gotta, you're probably just not. There's a quote like if you haven't made enemies, you never stood for anything or something like that. Not that I have enemies, people, whatever. I also got a nice blood clot. Not a blood clot. I don't know what that is. It's like a little bruise thing on my lip. Father's Day, I got jumped on. The youngest boy clocked me real good in the mouth. So I got that going on. It wasn't like a cool fist fight or anything like that. Just a kid jumping on me. But it is a sad episode because we're going to tell you who to drop or talk about players that people are thinking about dropping. This was inspired by me last night. My own brain inspired this one. Emmett Sheehan. So we're going to start with that because that's the guy I need to know. I need to tell myself what I should do here. Should you drop Emmett Sheehan? Yeah, it's been rough. I should pull up the actual results too. I'm going to pull that up over here. But on the screen, if you're watching, you can see the main Tableau dashboard pages for every player I'll talk about. As per usual, you're going to have to like zoom and squint, and it's just not a great situation. If you want to do data visualization, you got to keep it really simple, but baseball stuff, we're not here for simple. We kind of like that, but these kinds of things require multiple numbers to be given. And I can't show all that to you in a really clean way. Maybe I could, I just don't put the effort in, like I said, not the most like motivated dude all the time. Sheehan, he was like, I loved him. I picked him in the home league. Luckily, I didn't take him I have two main leagues, I would say, the $350 NFBC OC, and then my home league, which is it's like up to $90. I didn't even pay for the OC. The money situation, I don't put much money into this stuff. Really just kind of like the writing and stuff. And again, like if I lose every league, I'm fine. Like it's very little money. But I really want to win the home league. I want to make the playoffs at least. And I put a lot of it on Sheehan. I thought he would be great after last year. Sheehan last year, 31% K rate, 7.6% walk rate in 73 innings. And yeah, I did 20 innings in the minors. So it's not like we thought it was a huge innings thing. They are going 6-man rotation. So he's only thrown 68 innings so far, well below the league leaders. It would be more if he didn't suck so bad. But he's just been an earned run machine. He's just churning out the earned runs. He's got a 5.32 ERA. He's given up. He doesn't have a single scoreless start all year. How many other guys can say that? I should look that up. his last, whatever this is, 1, 2, 3, like 7 starts, 2 runs, 4 runs, 2, 2, 2, 3, 6. The 6 came Saturday at home against Baltimore, and now his home stats aren't even good. Before, he was like at least crushing at home. He's got a 5.11 ERA at home this year, 1.35 WHIP, 6 homers given up, 1.5 per 9. On the road, it's been real bad, 21% K rate. Still doesn't walk guys, 5% Sheehan on the road, but 2.35 home runs per 9. That's 8 given up on the road. He's given up 14 this year. He's given up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in his last 7 starts. He hasn't gone over 20 fantasy points in his last 4. He's got 14, 0, 18, and -4 points. He just got crushed by the Orioles Saturday. But what do we do? Obviously, we need to talk about this in league context. In my specific league context, it's a 10-team league where you can only roster like 8 or 9 or 10 starting pitchers per team, depending on if they have relief pitcher as the primary. But it's a competitive league. Like, the best guys on waivers right now are like Lodolo, Abbott, Flaherty is hurt, Roop, ECAB, Chandler. I could probably pick up Bubba Chandler for him, I guess. He's actually been pretty good. I can't drop. Anyway, we got to get to the actual numbers on it here. We're looking at the screen here, and here's the story, dude. It's still a 19% K- walk right here. Zoom in. I'll make this big. You don't have to look at me. 19% K- walk. He's got a 26% K rate, a 7% walk rate. 26 minus 7 gives you 19. A 15.3% swinging strike rate, 35.7% ball rate, which that's about league average. It's a little below. It's not great, but it's not like some guys just get whiffs and strikeouts, but they also have a 12% walk rate, and it doesn't matter. Like, that's not the case with Sheehan. Just a little bit of a, 10.5% barrel rate allowed. That's high, and it should come down a little bit. He's a fly ball guy. We knew that. So he's more susceptible to the high barrel rates and stuff. But it all looks good, man. Like, I've been saying buy low for a long time, but it hasn't worked. Like, it's gotten worse. 25% home run to fly ball rate. There's your key. 307 BABIP, that's a touch high. 25% home run to fly ball, that's very high. And that is, so the barrel rate is high, and also the home run to fly ball rate, home run to barrel rate stuff is also high. So I am going to keep them. Most 10-team leagues, I'd probably say go ahead. Like, what do you got? You got, do you have, I need like other names to compare them with, I guess. That's always the question here, right? Like, who would you replace them with? Brandon Woodruff's coming back. Gage Jump. Nah, I don't know. If you've got an actual good pitcher, some leagues are 8 teams or 10 teams and people don't really pay attention, and you got some really good arms on waivers. Like, okay, Sheehan probably going to keep giving up some home runs, and he only starts once a week with the 6-man rotation stuff going on. And they probably don't want him to throw 150 innings anyway. Not that he's even earned the right to even attempt that. But for me, I think it's a hold, just because I can't go away from the main rules here, right? 19% K- walk. How many times? Go ahead. Go to Fangraphs right now, dudes. Do it. Go to Fangraphs. You might need a paid account, which is worth it. Just give those guys whatever it is, like $25 a year or something like that. Go to the leaderboard, go to split season, qualified to like 100 innings, export it, open it in Excel, look at every pitcher with a 19% K- walk, or like expand it, go to like 18% to 20%, and look at what the ERAs usually are. You're going to get a bunch of ERAs in the mid or low 3s with that. So I suppose we can still say that there's good reason to believe better days ahead. I guess we should move the slider. Let's move the slider up a little bit. Till May 16th. That turns it into a 16.5% K- walk. So still above, like, the 15% is kind of the cutoff line. Like, if you're above 16%, I would say that's pretty good. A still 25% home run to fly ball rate over these last 6 starts for Sheehan. Still plenty of whiffs, 13.5% swinging strike rate. Fastball has been good, other than getting hit out of the park 6 times in the last 215 pitches. So I think it's a home run problem. The ball rate is a little bit higher lately, so he's definitely gotten worse. Maybe he's even wearing down a little bit. I don't know. Like, it's definitely less interesting lately, but you can't forget about. You can't just throw out what he did in April and the first half of May. You got to look at the full season sample. Baseball's random. Take the bigger sample. 19% K minus walk for Emmett Sheehan. I think you got to hold on for a bit longer. Just keep an eye on all these numbers we've been talking about. So I asked people to tell me their names of guys they were contemplating. Some guy, Dukook69, nice. That is what your username should be. If you're not trying to make a name for yourself, like, the handle should be funny. Dukook69. Trevor Rogers, he also wanted to know about Sheehan, so I covered that. Was going to drop one for Abel, but don't have to yet. So Mick Abel just was supposed to be back yesterday, but he had a setback, like his second or third setback on Friday in like a bullpen. Slated for MRI, so we don't know much about that. Mick Abel's arm failed to bounce back after a 20-pitch bullpen session Friday and won't return from an injured list. So he didn't get hurt. He just pitched a 20-pitch bullpen as he was getting ready to probably start on Sunday, and then his arm failed to bounce back. I don't know what that means. I guess he just didn't have the strength or something like that. So that's pretty discouraging. His elbow could just never get there. Who knows? It seems like he'll still be back in the next couple of weeks. He's got plenty of upside, but it seems kind of unlikely that he can actually like take over and stay healthy from July through the end of the season. Once he's back, I'd add him though. Like, Abel and Sheehan would be really close. I'd like to have more data on Abel, but for now, you definitely keep Sheehan. You're going to see Sheehan start again before Abel. And if you miss out on Abel, like, I doubt it's going to be something you're going to be super upset about. Trevor Rogers, though, is an interesting one. For his season, he's pitched a lot better lately. And I will put some numbers on that. He really hasn't had a bad start since May 29th. In June, he's gone 5.2 innings with 1 run, 5.2 innings with 3 runs, 6 innings with 2 runs. And then his best one last time, Saturday, against the Dodgers. Trevor Rogers went 7 innings shutout. 6 strikeouts, 2 walks. Let's scroll down to the game log here. 13 whiffs, a little bit of a high ball rate, but no homers. He's given up looks like those last 2 starts around the 220 expected WOBA against, doing a lot of that soft contact stuff again. 10 homers, 4 walks, 10 strikeouts, 4 walks. But the 25 whiffs, I mean, he's only had 3 starts of double-digit whiffs since April 19th, and 2 of those are in his last 2. So I'm getting pretty into it. Like, I never dropped him. I have him in the OC. He's been on my bench, but I never dropped him. Probably should have, but I held on. I'm definitely going to hold on for now. 309 expected WOBA allowed with a 9% K minus walk in the last 6. So it's kind of the opposite of Sheehan. Like, the indicators aren't very good. 4.32 JA ERA last 6, but the results are there. Hasn't gotten hit hard. Changeup has been a little bit better. I still can't say like this is super confident for me. Changeup against the Dodgers, only an 11.8% swing and strike rate, but he just didn't get hit hard at all, despite giving up 53% fly ball rate. But I don't know. I think it'll be I think at best he's like decent. He looks kind of like a league average pitcher, and that might be even a little bit optimistic. So I still can't say there's anything really to get super excited about here for Rogers. 12-team league with that's competitive. Go ahead. He's one of these guys with the changeup and being left-handed. Like, a lot of times these left-handed changeup dudes don't really follow the rules per se. Like, they can really generate weak contact consistently. Like, the Max Fried types, the Justin Steele types. It seems to me that if, Andrew Abbott before this year, but that's kind of an example on the other side. Like, it looked like Andrew Abbott could do that, but then he just hasn't, although he has lately. So if there's a pitcher that you can kind of maybe not take the underlying numbers as seriously, things like swinging strike rate, expected WOBA, barrel rate and stuff, like you can kind of, maybe the left-handed guys with changeups, those pitchers seem to more often kind of buck the trend or whatever you want to say. So not confident in Trevor Rogers, but you can, after that last one, 7 scoreless against the Dodgers, that's pretty impressive. Start him next time, I suppose. but I can't say that it's like it definitely doesn't look like, okay, he had a tough two months and now he's back. Trevor Rogers next start against the Nationals and then against the White Sox. So those are not great matchups, but they're fine. They're not. You can beat those teams for sure. I think run scoring wise, those two teams have, the Nationals are near the top and the White Sox have been pretty good. Even without Murakami, the White Sox have been pretty good. They just got Kyle Teal back. So it's a coin flip, I guess, for Rogers. It's not, he's not any longer like an obvious drop. In a 10-team league, no, you don't need him. 12-team, anything deeper than that, you're probably going to see what happens from here. Doc Blaw. I'm in a head-to-head league where that penalizes batter Ks. So Devers, who's asking about should I drop Devers, and his SHIT attitude. Good point about the attitude. He just did something dumb the other day. I didn't really pay attention to that. He refused to get pinch run for or something, and then probably got thrown out. I don't know. I didn't look. Penalizes Ks. Yeah, 30% K rate for Devers, just 10 homers, 721 OPS, 10% barrel rate. Zone contact rate's a good one to look at when you're trying to figure out if a K rate, if a hitter K rate is going to stay. And at this point, we are legitimately halfway into the season, so you can start trusting these numbers, even like the K rate. Those ones are pretty stable by now. 30% for Devers. I didn't like him coming into the season because I thought he would do the discipline stuff and get on base a lot, but I just didn't think the home runs were going to be there in San Francisco. That's been proven right. And it's not only that, it's just the barrel rate's down to 10%, and the zone contact rate is 72%. It is tough to cut the guy, though. I mean, what would you be looking at, man? First base options in my league, you'd be looking at Kyle Manzardo, Nolan Schanuel. I mean, I wouldn't cut him in this league when I'm looking at the options. Mark Vientos, there's nothing really here, but if there's somebody kind of good, maybe I'll pull up the player rater. I'll try to give you as much player rater. Try to give you as much help as possible. First base options like TJ Rumfield maybe over Devers. I think I could definitely see that. I'm sure Alec Burleson is 100% owned. Josh Naylor, Cody Clemens. That's an interesting question. Like Clemens or Devers. I think that's crazy to say, but those are the kind of guys, if those are available. And certainly if you're in a really shallow league where you can go grab like Naylor or Horwitz, I would definitely take Spencer Horwitz over Rafael Devers. TJ Rumfield is mentioned. Paul Goldschmidt even. I mean, Goldschmidt's been really good. He's been the fourth best first baseman since May 1st. So, yeah, I think there's reason to go ahead and move on from Devers, especially in the penalizes batter case. Horwitz is awesome in those leagues. He doesn't strike out. So that hurts. And if it's a league where you kind of need the homers and steals, I don't really think they're going to come for Devers. So I think that's fine. Crazy to say. But we're deep enough into the season where I think you can do kind of quote-unquote drastic stuff like this. And it's fine with me to go ahead and cut loose Rafael Devers. Not even hitting the ball that hard, man. 104.3 EV90 on fly balls. That's not doing it. So it all looks pretty bad. What else we got? Trey Turner, yeah. Yeah, my boy Trey Turner. He started slow before. He's had slumps before, but he's just not really coming out of this one. Only a 235 expected batting average from Trey Turner. The 7 homers aren't a surprise at all. That's, I probably would have predicted about 9 or 10 in the first half, before the All-Star break for him. Just 7. The power is just kind of gone. It was never there, in spades, He's never hit the ball super hard. He's done better than this. 101.97 EV90 on fly balls. That's not why you drafted him, though. You drafted him for the steals and the batting average, and it's a 235 expected. Again, it's who do you have available? But he's not helping anything right now. The Phillies have been really rough. It's been the Schwarber and Harper show all year. And even Schwarber's had some struggles, and neither of those guys have hit lefties well. So the Phillies have been rough, and that hasn't helped Turner either, because when he's gotten on base, Trey Turner has a 280 OBP. Even that's not turning into a run at a super high rate like it usually would. So Phillies overall just looking like a team that's not going to be very good next year or the year after, maybe. I mean, imagine if Christopher Sanchez gets hurt or something like that. In 2 years, this team is done. They got to rebuild. They got to do something. They got Aiden Miller and But I think the pitching depth in the minors is pretty bad, so things aren't going the right way for the Phillies. They're playing well right now. I think they're a playoff team, but Trey Turner, the 235 expected batting average, I'd say would be the key stat for you there. Don't cut him for Chase Meadroth or, you're not cutting him for Spencer Pratt or any of these minor leaguers that are coming up that don't look very good. But I don't know, maybe Spencer Pratt, Cooper Pratt. Is Spencer Pratt the dude that ran for mayor or something? I pay slight attention to politics. Yeah, it's Cooper Pratt. My bad. Cooper Pratt and Spencer Pratt. Neither of them have hit a home run this year. 22 plate appearances for Cooper Pratt in the majors, but I don't think it's crazy. I mean, Pratt is kind of, he's got, I can't even quote his stats. It's 22 plate appearances, but he could be a batting average plus steals guy, and that's the best you're hoping for from Trey Turner, who's just old now. So sad to say. Willy Adames, man, it looked like he was really coming to life. This is Anant Verma, Rahood Boy 92. Willy Adames, it looked like he was coming to life, man. He was awesome in late May and June, but now he's slumping again a little bit. 679 OPS for Adames, 28% K rate, a little bit under that, 27.5%, 9% barrel rate, 222 expected batting average. So you knew you weren't going to get a batting average from him, right? And you knew you were going to get maybe 5 to 10 steals, but you were hoping for another 25 homer season or something like that. And if that's what you drafted him for, I think he can still do that. Really, if we go back and started at May 10th, kind of looks like that's around when he started turning it around. So last 150 plate appearances, 11% barrel rate, 25% K rate, 9 homers, and 150 PAs. That's pretty decent right there, right? 150. That would be times 4. Yeah, 150 times 4 would be 600. He should get more plate appearances than that over a full season. So he's at a almost 40 homer pace over the last 150 plate appearances. So he's doing that for you. On the road, he's got 7 of them. 7 of his last 9 homers are on the road. So at home, yeah, he is rough at home. And that makes sense because it's a really, really hard ballpark to hit in. Adames at home this year, 331 slug, 2 homers, 137 plate appearances. So you like him on the road. I still think he'll hit you at least a homer per week, maybe 1.5 homers per week or something like that. So that's worth it. And that's kind of, the profile overall hasn't changed. You didn't draft him, I hope, thinking you were going to get 35 homers and 20 steals and a 260 batting average. Right now, it's just like he's kind of a one-trick pony, and the Giants being bad hasn't helped the RBI total. But I think he can still do that one-trick thing, the home runs. The weather, it'll help. It's hot. It's going to be better in San Francisco. Still bad home run hitting environment, but I'd hold on to Adames just because it doesn't look as bad. You're getting, over the last 2 months, you're pretty much getting what you drafted him for, and it's just like the numbers are still held down by the slow start. George Kirby, Ram fan, TD Belo, asked about George Kirby. I think this is an easy one. Don't be ridiculous. George Kirby's a hold, right? Last time, 6 innings, 3 earned, 5 strikeouts, no walks. Time before that, Kirby 6 innings, 3 earned runs, 10 strikeouts. So he had a big strikeout game against Baltimore. It's faced them again, only 5 strikeouts. For the year, 21% K rate. That's like 3 or 4 points below last year, but it's kind of in line. He's been a 23% K rate guy in the past. He was at 24.5% in 2022. Kirby had a 23% K rate in 2023. I guess the difference is now that he's got a walk rate above 5%, which is still really great. But before last year, when he did both things pretty well, he was like league average K rate, but walking almost nobody. He walked like 2.5% of hitters from 2023 to 2024, under 3%. And that kept the K to walk at 20%. So Kirby's K to walk ratio, K minus BB, in his career, last 5 years since he got in the league, 20.5%, 20.2%, 20.1%, 20.6%, and then this year, 15.5%. So he's dropped that down a lot. He's lost the strikeouts. It's his lowest strikeout rate of his career and his worst walk rate. But it's still a 16% K minus walk if you round up. So yeah, he's good enough to hold. It's just like he's not an ace. He was definitely drafted too high, and you're not going to like what he gives you at the end of the season when you look at where you drafted him. But you can't. You can't. I get it though. And in this tweet, Ram fan said, "I can't keep that whip damage going." I got to flip over here on this screen I'm showing, and yeah, he's got a 1.3 whip. That is not expected. The BABIP is 333 though, so some good news there. That's a high BABIP. It's not going to last. I think the whip gets down. He's still a 5% walk rate guy. And, you know, we've seen a little bit more whiffs lately for Kirby. If we look at his last month, it's a 11% swing strike rate. So still low, but it's a point higher than it was before that. So you're holding Kirby. You're not hoping for the world. And you're going to have to deal with this like once a month or twice a month piggyback thing. I don't know why they would do it to Kirby, but it's not great, but you can't cut George Kirby. Eugenio Suarez, didn't he homer yesterday? I mean, he's just a guy that you might drop and then he might hit 10 homers and then next 4 weeks after that. But just 7 homers this year, 8% barrel rate, 34% K rate, 208 average. He is like Adames in that all you drafted him for home runs and RBIs, haven't gotten them. He had a long IL stint since coming back, hasn't been good. 4 homers. I think he had 2 in one game pretty early on after getting back, but 94 plate appearances since coming off the IL, 7.7% barrel rate, 38% K rate. He's super old too. You know, it's harder to cut him because he's in Cincinnati and homers are really easy to come by there, and he could just go on a tear. Like we've seen this all the time for Suarez. He'll just be terrible for months, and then he'll have, you know, he'll hit 290 with 8 homers one month, you know, or even more than that. I think he's had some juiced up months. So obviously, I don't have to keep saying this, but it depends on who you drop him for. But I think there's probably at least a comparable guy or someone that can just give you a lot more. I mean, Suarez is killing batting average. If you're not getting 2 homers a week, he's hurting you. So that's fine. You can go ahead and get rid of Suarez, but not for some total loser. Let me know. What I said is let me know who you're considering dropping, and I'll give my thoughts on a podcast this afternoon. Hoota Man said, oh, that was the Suarez guy. Dave K said your mom. Yeah, drop my mom. Let me show you. Let's show you. Let's call this guy out. Let's call this anonymous guy out, the Terminator. Should you drop my mom? Yeah, I mean, my parents are happily married. I'm not happy to hear that my mom is, you know, is she really? Are you really doing stuff with my mom? Because I would appreciate if you would drop that. I would like to just tell me you were kidding. I don't want to know about that. My mom's 70 something. She's like 73. She had me when she was older. She was like a high 30s when she started having kids. So it's probably not in your best interest, and I'd appreciate it if you would just let my dad, you know, live his final years without that going on. So thanks. Drop my mom, please. Lodolo, beep 024. Let's get that off the screen. Go back here. Lodolo, this is a good one. It's probably time. I mean, I have him in a 12-team OC, certainly on the bench. There are options. I probably should have dropped him this week. Lodolo just not good. 7.7% K minus walk. I wanted to forgive the first 4, you know. I was going to give him these 4 because he had this weird start to the year. Didn't I talk about him? We talked about Lodolo a few times lately, but I'll just kind of repeat myself. His last 4 starts, so this is kind of what I wanted to judge him on, was like, let's let him take time and get it together, get ramped up, get back into the swing of things, but it hasn't been good, and his last one was the worst. His last 4 starts even, like 8.4% swing and strike rate, 13.5% K rate, 7.7% walk rate. So not walking guys. 355 BABIP's high, 12% home run fly ball rate's low though. 380 expected WOBA. Key point strikeouts, not getting him this year. 16% K rate. The curveball's good, just has nothing else. 4-seamer, sinker, changeup, all under 10% swing and strike rate. It's actually not that bad for a 4-seamer, 9.5%. But if you can't get strikes, you can't do anything with the curveball. Curveballs are kind of the pitch you use to take you from good to elite when you're ahead in the count. And he's not getting ahead in the count with a 46% strike rate on the 4-seamer, 47% on the sinker. Again, high BABIP, but I guess the home run and fly ball rate is actually kind of high. It's a little bit high, 18% for the year. That's probably what you'd expect in Cincinnati. So I don't see a ton of bad luck other than a little bit of a high BABIP, but yeah, it's fine if you got somebody with upside. I don't think Lodolo was ever going to be a guy that pitches like he did for a few months last year. He's not that good. He's like a dude that you can get a 3.6 ERA, to whip out of it when he's going right with some quality starts, because he can be pretty efficient, but not looking good. I still wouldn't be surprised at all if he figures this out. Maybe it's just like he's not quite right yet. Still, he's only 8 starts into his season after a really rough start to it. So wouldn't get rid of him in a 15-team league or anything like that, but any kind of standard-ish league, you probably got better options than the Lodolo Meister. Cole Ragans, you got an IL spot. He's really banged up. I don't know what the news is with him. We're kind of thinking, seems like best case scenario would be he comes back. He's just got shut down from throwing. Probably not going to be back. If you can't afford the IL stash, yeah, I wouldn't bother with a bench spot for him. What's he going to do? Like maybe he comes back in August and does really well for the last 5 weeks. Like you can live without that. Don't use a spot. Use the bench spot that you could be testing with. You could probably find some other breakout dude with that bench spot in the meantime. So Cole Ragans, go ahead. All clear from me. Matt Chapman, let's go back here. Chives. People really don't like to share their identities on social media. Probably smart. Matt Chapman, really good lately. Are we seeing this? You seeing this over here? Seeing this over here? Are you seeing over this, Chives? You see these lines? They're coming way up, dude. Let's go to May 20th. I know this is the stuff I don't like to do. Is like, let's chop up the sample and find good news. But last 110 plate appearances, 358 expected WOBA for Chapman, 17% K rate, 14% walk rate, 9.6% barrel rate. Still not a great home run hitter. Even at his best, he was like a 23 homer guy. Same things apply with what we talked about with Adames, just being really hard to hit homers in San Francisco. But Chapman's been lighting it up for his last 100-some plate appearances. I still get it, though. Like a 289 batting average, if that's all you're getting, that's not super helpful. And the Giants aren't scoring a ton of runs, so he's not driving in a ton of runs, I don't imagine. But he's been really good lately. He's got, again, like a 360 expected WOBA for his last 110 plate appearances. Like, you can hold on to that. But if you have good options, I don't know, like Chapman's upside isn't very good, so you just got to weigh that. But just know that Chapman's been a lot better lately. Okamoto, interesting question here from Zach Adam. 16 homers, though. I mean, that's pretty valuable. 15% barrel rate. It's been a wavy season, as you can see if you're watching. It was really good like the first week, and then really bad, and then pretty good, and then pretty bad, and now he's been kind of goodish. He's got a WOBA above the average line. Expected WOBA is hovering below that. A lot of strikeouts, 66% contact rate for Okamoto, 78% zone contact rate. Those are both really bad. EVs are good, though, 109 on fly balls. That's 90th percentile. That's really good. So you can hit the ball hard. You can go on some runs where he hits a bunch of home runs. Steals aren't there, I don't believe. I was actually interested in that. He didn't steal bases in Japan, but we were wondering if, when you change leagues, maybe you change your approach. But yeah, 0 steals, 0 attempts. That's an easy answer there. So you're hoping that he can be like a Eugenio Suarez light, I guess, maybe a little bit higher batting average, but Okamoto's got a 220 expected. So he's just not very good. Empty power, but if you need those home runs, like he's hitting you 1 homer a week almost. And look at the last, let's chop it up again. 6 homers in his last 134 plate appearances, 37% K rate. So things are getting a little bit worse, but he's got power. But yeah, I don't think he needs to be rostered. I don't think it's very good. Jose Altuve, sports. That's the guy's name on X. His handle is Sportsass. A little bit of a sports fan, you could say. But what would we do without sports, dude? I mean, I guess I would be like building stuff. I'd probably learn how to use a drill, maybe work out a little bit more. I'd do okay at that, but I weigh 146 pounds. Like I could get that weight up a little bit. I could probably weigh 170 with some muscle, read some books, and learn how to build a shed or something if there weren't for sports. But we like sports. Jose Altuve, hasn't Altuve been really good? Got back from the injured list. 8 homers in 237 plate appearances. So multiply that by 3, 2.5-ish. You got 20 homers here. Steals, he's got a few, if I'm not mistaken. Jose Altuve this year. I was mistaken. 1 steal, 6% attempt rate. Hitting 235 batting average, down 30 points. He's 36 years old. This was going to happen. The Astros aren't very good. He's fully relying on the Crawford boxes for his home runs. He's got a 103.8 EV90 on fly balls, which isn't horrible, but it's not Great. Air pull is 19%. So that's how he does it, but a 48% ground ball rate, no steals, 233 expected batting average. Like, I think the days are over. I believe he's second base outfield eligible still, though. That should be right. He played outfield a lot last year, so he should have that all year. It's not like an obvious cut. He can do better, and maybe the injury just kind of held him back a little bit, but not really. Just at 36, he's 10 years out of the prime, 8 years out of the prime, whatever it is, so that's fine. You can cut him, but it's hard to find a second baseman who can play every day and do some things well, so consider replacement. But Austin Riley, yeah, I think you drop him. There's actually options at third base. Austin Riley, we've talked a lot about him, just not doing it, man. He looks – let me shout out your username. JK at NJMLB asked about Austin Riley. It's all bad. 29% K rate, 9.7% barrel rate, 67% contact rate for Riley, 209 XBA, only 8 homers. What's he doing for you, man? He's killing you everywhere. EVs, 105.9 overall, 105.4 on fly balls. That's EV 90. Bat speed's still there, but it's just like it's been a long time since he's had a good season. And the 8 homers when you really needed him, it's not doing it. I think he's probably definitely a 12-team cut. 10 teams maybe hold on. He has 4 steals this year, though, a career high, 7% attempt rate. I don't know. I guess that's not really making the difference for you on Austin Riley. It just looks like he's not very good. It has been since 2023, since we've had a season from Austin Riley, we're like, okay, this guy's really good. 2023 was a long time ago. Austin Riley's 29 now. That's still pretty young. 15-team league, I would hold on because what other options do you have? And Riley did have a pretty nice expected WOBA last year in the short time he played. He played 102 games, slugged 428. So even it was only 16 homers, but he's slowed down. He's got a 2.6% home run rate, and that's kind of all he was doing. So that's the risk of taking these home run only guys, these like guys you draft for home runs and RBIs. What if they don't hit home runs? They don't have anything to fall back on. Riley, 209 expected batting average. Expected WOBA's under 300, which is probably the sticking point. Like, go ahead, move on, find someone better. Just not my mom, hopefully. Jarren Duran. Yeah, this is waves too, right? This is one of the wave guys. Let's do this. Jarren Duran. My immediate reaction is like, hold, of course. What are you doing? But yeah, Duran, 12 homers, 204 average, 30% K rate, 11% barrel rate. He got hot for a minute, and now it's back down. Like the line over here, pointed down, 64% contact rate, a lot of whiffs. 12 homers, 11 steals, though, in 70 games. That's 2020 pace, brother. He's going to be – it's going to be hot and cold, man. Like, you're going to have streaks, but home runs plus steals. And if this is a points league, probably drop. He doesn't walk. And in the points league, the home runs and steals, the home runs still matter, but the steals aren't as important. But in a categories league, the steals are pretty nice. And again, like the guy's playing at a 25 homer, 23 steal pace. And look, Duran has hit 295, 286, and 258 the last 3 years. So dropped down last year, but still, you take a 260 batting average if you can get back to that. He's got a 254 BABIP, which is very low for a speedy guy like that. Doesn't pull it very much. He hits it pretty hard. 106.3 on fly balls, 107.2 overall. Hold Duran, man. You're going to have some massive weeks from him, especially if you benefit from those steals. Is that all the people said? Anybody else? But let's go over here. We'll do some more dashboard stuff. Alex Bregman was kind of a guy on my team I'm thinking about. So let me do him. Points leagues, it's a little bit different. He's always been better in points leagues, but Alex Bregman, 6 homers this year. The Cubs have had a fine season, but no thanks to him. He's got an amazing 25 RBIs. That's just crazy for him being a 2, 3, 4 hitter. 76 games. He hasn't missed any time. Just 6 homers. That's not a shock. Wrigley's not a great place for him. He doesn't have a lot of raw power. But you drafted him thinking 260 average, 350 OBP, 15 homers, 5 steals. He's not too far off that stuff. 247 batting average, 340 OBP. K rate's still fine. It is actually at a career high, 15.9%, but the walk rate's 11%. Like, the plate discipline stuff's still good. Just not hitting the long ball. Pulls it in the air 19% of the time. That's fine. 285 BABIP, that's about expected. EVs are low. That's expected. Bat speed is exactly league average. He's a points league guy, but roto leagues, I think it's fine to cut him. He's not going to do much. At best, the rest of the season, 75th percentile outcome or something for Bregman the rest of the season would be he hits 275. He hits home runs at a 20 homer pace and steals like a base a month. Like, even if things get right, quote unquote, like, you're not going to miss him too much. The one thing you can say is that his like batting average with runners on scoring position has been so low, and it should come up. It's going to drive in more runs eventually, unless they just ship him to the bottom of the lineup, which I wonder if they've already started to do that. Let's see. Because I would have. I get it. You paid him a bunch of money, but they haven't. He's hit 5th. I guess he did hit 5th on June 17th. I got to clear that. Let's see. Last few games, he's hit 5th, 2nd, 5th. So they're not moving him down too much. The RBI should come. That's just been kind of unlucky, but 248 expected batting average. He's, 350 slug. He's just not hitting the ball hard. No extra bases. So that's fine. It's fine. Go ahead. Be gone, Alex Bregman. If I have him, if I wanted to drop him and I needed a first base, third base option, my options in this league I have him in would be Willie Castro, Spencer Torkelson. Yeah, I could get behind like Torkelson, swapping him out for Bregman. At least he'll get some homers. Everything else is kind of worse, but at least he can still do that. Willie Castro has been 275 average, 350 on base, so he's doing kind of the same things as Bregman. Better, actually. 5 homers, 5 steals. Yeah, I probably should take Willie Castro instead of Alex Bregman. Maybe I'll do that. But we only have 5 ads a week, and I always use them on streamers and injuries and stuff. So, yeah. Nobody asked me. I asked myself about Bregman, but I think you could cut him if you want. Who are some other hitters? Let's go to, on the dashboard I'm showing here, I like doing this for content. I like going to at least 80% owned. I like going to 200 plate appearances on the dashboard and sorting by OPS. Ascending, meaning worst to best. Cal Raleigh, it's almost a good thing that he hit the IL, because then you can kind of look at his bad season and be like, oh, he was hurt. But while he's been healthy, he's hitting 162 with 7 homers, 12% barrel rate, 31% K rate. Would you cut Kyle Raleigh for Kyle Teel? I don't think anybody could actually make themselves do that. But if you're desperate, I don't think it's the craziest thing in the world. Raleigh's murdering your batting average, and we honestly expected him to do that. It was like a 230 hitter was probably the right projection. Now he's at 162, 180 expected for Raleigh. 200 BABIP. He's going to be a low BABIP guy. He's slow. He hits a lot of fly balls. That's a low BABIP, but not 200. So, and then he can just light it up. Maybe he gets back to last year's form after a big second half. That's hard to cut him for that reason. Still pulling the ball in the air an absolute ton, but last year was a total fake out, total mirage. But again, we even said this in the lead up to the season. Like, it's not like it was out of nowhere. He had a really big 2024 season as well. Cal Raleigh, 245 average in that year. That's above his career average. It was his best batting average, 220 in 2024. I was looking at last year. He's a 220 hitter, man. And that might even be best case scenario. He's not going to hit that this year after 205 plate appearances of 160. But even in 2024, Cal Raleigh hit 34 homers. Very valuable as a catcher. He played every day. He's still going to play a lot as long as he starts hitting a little bit. Hard to cut for that reason, but I wouldn't. If somebody dropped him in a 12-team league for Kyle Teel, I'd be like, oh, okay. That's not crazy. Sal Perez, speaking of catchers, looks kind of cooked there too. The age might be finally catching up to him. I think it's fine to get rid of him. 593 OPS, 10 homers. Not striking out much, 19%, but just not hitting the ball super well. 295 expected WOBA for Salvador Perez. 223 BABIP, that's low. He'll come up. He'll hit better than 208, but looks like that Rob Power just is kind of zapped. 9.6% barrel rate. It's not what you want to see. Manny Machado. the anti-analytics guy, he is tough to cut, right? 622 OPS, 13 homers. He's not tough to cut because of the numbers. He's been really terrible. 226 expected batting average, but he's not so old. Maybe people have already cut him. I don't know. I just probably wouldn't quite be getting there. The park stuff should be better. It's tough to hit in San Diego, but it's going to be better everywhere. So these hitters should all do a little bit better. 13 homers for Machado, though, still. He's halfway to his – yeah, he's on pace for more than 25 homers. I guess it's been a little bit better lately. He's got a couple in his last couple weeks. So 13 homers is good, 41 RBIs. That's not great, but it's not terrible. So, again, nobody asked me about Machado. The steals are gone. He's only got one steal this year, 4% attempt rate. But I think some people are out there are wondering what to do with him. And I think unless you have someone really good to replace him with, of course, hold on to Machado. He's not he's 34, so he's up there, but he's not like a 36, 37-year-old where it's like really hard to believe they can keep going. Jackson Merrill, he's another guy I have on my team. He's got a 629 OPS this year, 216. 216 batting average, 358 slug, 270 OBP. It's been pretty disastrous, but he's got 15 steals. He's got 3 homers and 5 steals in June, 237 average in June, so still not doing that. But if you're going to grab 4 homers and 5 steals, like when June's all over in 10 days here, he'll probably have hit 4 or 5 homers and stolen 6-7 bases. So, that's pretty good pace. Same things apply. Like maybe the Padres offense just kind of figures it out. Maybe the ball flies a little bit better there. It's been kind of good news for Merrill, at least from the stolen base perspective, with a few homers mixed in there. He homered on the 17th. He homered on the 13th. Homered on the 4th. So he's got 3 this month. Maybe he can get back to be a mid-20s homer pace with a good amount of steals. Maybe he can be a 20-25 pace guy with a 240 batting average, something going forward. So but I wouldn't be looking for a reason to cut him, but outfielders pop up all the time. Like outfield's pretty easy to replace. So Corey Seager, he'll be back from concussion. He's been really bad this year. He's just so good. Like Seager's never really had an elongated span of not being a good hitter when healthy. So I think you got to hold him just in case he gets back. Like this latest IL stint isn't about the back. That'll probably happen again, but it's a concussion thing. He should be back soon. And I think that there's just too much upside there to be done with him. Maikel Garcia, another guy I've been contemplating. He's been like day to day several times. I wanted to check on his stolen base stuff. He stole 37 bags in 2024, 29% attempt rate. Stole 23 last year, while hitting 287. Last year was awesome. 287 average, 16 homers, 23 steals. This year, 3 homers in 68 games. Power's gone. Doesn't hit the ball hard in the air. Like when he hits the ball hard, it's on the ground. It's just how the swing works. And only 5 steals this year with a 258 average. Like if you're going to hit 1 homer a month and get 2 steals a month, like you better be hitting 290 or something like that. And Garcia's trash. So I think that was fake out last year too. You can probably cut him. All these guys I have on my team. Like if you want to look at my home league team, if I had infinite moves, I would probably just do it. But I've got Garcia and Bregman on the bench. I've had them on the bench for weeks now, and I should probably get rid of them, move on. But that's the podcast. Stay happy.
MLBDW solo pod with John Anderson. He's lonely and sad and monotone.